Santham Academy. Welcome to Digital Kaksha. To get updates on new videos, click the subscribe button and the bell icon.
Hello everyone, I am here again with a new chapter, that is chapter 5, Principles of Inheritance and Variations. So, number of questions always come to our mind, like why the children they resemble their parents, why the siblings they are little different from each other, how the basic body plan of all the organisms of the same species they are same, then also we are able to differentiate between them. In a class, number of students are there, all have got the same basic plan, that is having 2 eyes, 1 nose, 1 mouth, 2 hands, 2 legs, then also they all are different from each other. We can distinguish very easily by looking at their external morphology. So, what is the basis of these differences and how they are similar to each other? These questions always arise in our minds. As we have studied that in case of sexual reproduction, as two individuals are involved, two different gametes are being formed, the male gamete and the female gamete. Now these two gametes they fuse with each other to form the zygote. So in the new generation, in the offspring, or we can say in the zygote, there is a combination of characters from both the individuals. So here recombination of characters occurs, because of which the offsprings will get few characters from one parent and few characters from another parent. You know, this way the characters they are being transmitted from one generation to the next generation. So here in this chapter, we will be dealing with how this process of transmission occurs from the parents to the offsprings, or we can say from one generation to the next generation. So this chapter, that is Principles of Inheritance and Variation, deals with the complete concept of genetics. Genetics, it is a applied area of biology, or we can say it is an advanced area of biology in which the transmission of characters or the process of transmission of characters and the variations are being studied. How the characters are being transmitted from one generation to the next generation and how the variations they occur in the next generation. So all these things we will be dealing in this chapter. So before starting the actual chapter, we have to go through the terminologies which will be frequently used in this chapter. So starting with the first basic terminology, that is genetics. Genetics, it is the field of science, or it is the applied field of biology which deals with the study of the inheritance and variations. Inheritance means how the characters we get from our parents, and variations means how we vary from our parents, or how we vary from each other, or how the siblings they vary from each other, or how the siblings they vary from their parents. All these things will come under the variations. So as you know that the chromosomes, they are the genetic material present in the nucleus of the cell. These chromosomes they are being transmitted to the next generation. So as in case of human, we know that we have got 46 chromosomes or 23 pairs of chromosomes. On each chromosome, the genes they are arranged linearly. On each chromosomes, the genes they are arranged linearly, and the gene and the chromosomes they are made up of the chemical component or the chemical constituent, that is DNA or deoxyribonucleic acid. So the characters they are coded on the genes, and as the chromosomes they are transmitted to the next generation, the genes are also transmitted to the next generation. So the field dealing with the study of the inheritance of characters and the variations occurring in the next generation, that field is called as the field of genetics. And the term genetics was coined by the scientist W. Bateson in 1905. Now we will move to the definitions of the inheritance and variation. Inheritance, also called as heredity, means how the transmission of characters occur from the parents to the offsprings, or we can define inheritance as the process of transmission of the characters from one generation to the other generation through the medium genes. So that process is called as inheritance or heredity. Now, during the transmission of characters, the genes or the characters, they are not transmitted as such. If they are transmitted as such, then the generations will be similar. Like the previous generation will be having the same type of characteristics as that of the present generation. But here you can see that there are degrees of differences between the present generation and the preceding generation, and even there will be differences in the future generation also. So these changes which occur generation after generation, that changes are called as the variations. Or we can say that the degree by which the progeny means the offsprings, they differ from the parents, that degree of differences is termed as the variations. The variations may result due to number 1, recombination of characters. In sexual reproduction, as two individuals are involved and the fusion of the male and female gametes occur, so there will be recombination of genes, there will be recombination of characters in the next generation. So that is one of the reason why the variations occur in the next generation. Other than that, some environmental factors also contribute to the variations. Other than that, one very important factor is there, that is mutations, which also contribute to the variations. So variations may result as a result of recombination, as a result of environmental factors, and due to mutations also. So this was about the inheritance or heredity and variations. So the science dealing with the study of inheritance and variations is termed as the genetics. Now we will come to the person who have started to study about the field of genetics. The person who first thought about how the characters, they are being transmitted to the generations, why the variations are there in characters in different generations. So this complete thing was observed and first studied by the biologist, that is Gregor Johann Mendel. Gregor Johann Mendel is the pioneer who have studied about the transmission of characters from one generation to the next generation. On the basis of his observations, he have given some postulates, and that postulates later were framed as the Mendel's laws of inheritance. Now, because of this reason, this person, Gregor Johann Mendel, is known as the father of genetics. So Gregor Johann Mendel is known as the father of genetics, as he was the first person to think and study and experiment about the transmission of characters from one generation to the next generation. So here in the first part of this chapter, we will be dealing with the Mendelian genetics. So before that, we have to go through certain terms which we will frequently use in this chapter. Let's start with the terminology of genetics. The first term is gene. Gene, you all know that it is the functional unit of the hereditary material. What is the hereditary material? Hereditary material are the chromosomes which are present inside the nucleus. That chromosomes, they are made up of number of genes which are linearly arranged on the chromosome. So, on each gene a character is being coded. So, whatever characters are present in an individual, that is being coded by the genes. So, whatever characters an individual has got, that individual will be having that number of genes representing that particular character. So, the biological unit which is being inherited from one generation to the next generation, that biological factor or unit is called as the gene. So, it is defined as the functional unit of the hereditary material which transmits the characters from one generation to the next generation. Now, moving to the second terms, that is diploid and haploid. Diploid means 2n. 2n means that in the nucleus of the cell, the chromosomes are present in pairs, means two sets of the same chromosomes will be present in the nucleus of the cell. So, such type of cell is called as the diploid cell, means here 2n will be representing the diploid cell. Second is haploid. Haploid is being represented by n. That means only one set of chromosomes will be present in the nucleus of a cell. So, that is called as haploid. For example, the normal cells in our body or the growth cells in our body, they are diploid, they are having two sets of chromosomes. While the gametes, they are haploid, they will be having only one set of chromosome. So that the two gametes, they fuse with each other to restore the diploid number in the zygote. So that was about the diploid and the haploid. Now the next term is genome. Genome means the total set of genes present in the cell of an individual. That complete set of genes is called as the genome. Okay, so what is genome? The complete set of genes which will give characters to the individual, and that in haploid state. Why in haploid state? Because the chromosomes, they are present in pairs, as 23 pairs of chromosomes are present in human beings. So these 23 chromosomes which have got the set of genes, the complete set of genes in an individual, that is called as the genome of that individual. The genome represents the complete set of characters coded by the genes. Now moving to the next term, that is gene locus. On the chromosomes, the genes, they are arranged linearly. Like here I am drawing the structure of a chromosome. So here the genes, they are arranged linearly on the chromosome. So, the position of the genes on the chromosome, that position is called as the gene loci. For example, this is the first gene. For example, this is the gene of height. So, the position of this gene of height is called as the gene loci of height. Gene loci is the position of genes on the chromosomes. Different genes, they occupy different positions on the chromosomes. Genotype and phenotype. Genotype and phenotype, they are very much related to each other. Genotype means the genetic constitution of the individual. Genetic constitution or genetic makeup of the individual, or we can say the genes that make up the genetic material of the individual, that is called as the genotype or the complete set of genes. But here not in haploid state but in diploid state, that is called as the genotype. Next is phenotype. Phenotype means the physical expression of the genotype. Whatever characters will be expressed by an individual, that will depend upon the genotype. Whatever genes will be present in an individual, only that characters will be shown by that individual. So that physical representation of characters, that is called as phenotype, and the phenotype is dependent upon the genotype. The next term is alleles or allelomorphs. Alleles or allelomorphs are the alternative forms of the same gene. Alternative forms of the same gene means that, for example, one gene is there for the height of the individual. So, that height gene has got two options or two possibilities. That two possibilities are tall and dwarf. So, these two options, or we can say, so these two alternatives, they are called as the alleles or the allelomorphs. Example I am writing over here like gene of height. This gene of height has got two possibilities. Number one, the person may be tall. Number two, the person may be dwarf. So, these two possibilities or these two alternatives are called as the alleles or allelomorphs of the gene of height. So, in this class we have discussed about the introduction of the genetics. We have studied about the different terminologies like genetics, who is the father of genetics, about inheritance, about variations. Then we have started with the terminologies of genetics, which is very much important when we will be studying the actual chapter. There these terms will be frequently used. So, the terms which we have discussed in this video, they are the genetics, inheritance, variations, gene, diploid, haploid, genome, gene locus, genotype and phenotype, alleles or allelomorphs. In the next video, we will be discussing more about the terms used in the genetics. Till that time, bye-bye. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like, share and subscribe for more.